When I was little, I didn't have much interest in Zelda, probably because my tastes in gaming were quite lacking back then, and I didn't really care for Nintendo games as much. As I got older, I started having a much better appreciation for the franchise, especially with how many games have subsequently been influenced by the series. But before we continue on with the video, please make sure to subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on awesome content. Just a note, I haven't played every single Zelda game in existence. My gaming backlog is larger than the list of Breath of the Wild recipes. I first heard of Zelda when I was in 3rd grade. I was skimming through a video game magazine and saw an article about Ocarina of Time, and I was like, whatever. Afterwards, I kept seeing advertisements and YouTube videos over various Zelda games from the original to Phantom Hourglass. One day, I decided to look up what were the greatest games of all time, and just about every article or list said Ocarina of Time was the greatest. I was flabbergasted they would choose that. Reading those lists gave me an impression that Ocarina of Time was extremely overrated. I didn't know why they would choose Ocarina of Time as the greatest or among the greatest until years later when others explained why. If you consider Ocarina of Time to be the greatest, that's great. If not, that's also great. It all comes down to our personal interests, and our interests make us unique. With just about every Zelda game I've played, I would either briefly play it and never play it again, or beat it all the way through. The first Zelda game I owned was Link's Crossbow Training. I know many of you are gonna say, that's not a mainline Zelda game. Yes, I know. I got it with my Wii Zapper so I could use it with my other Wii Zapper games. In terms of the game, it's alright. It's just nothing special. I wouldn't take it seriously since it's not a mainline Zelda game. The first mainline Zelda game I owned was Four Swords, the DSi version. Now, I really did not enjoy this game, probably because I had almost no knowledge of Zelda at the time, other than what I experienced with Link's Crossbow Training. Other than that, I really don't have much to say about it. I didn't mention this in my 3DS Experience video, but the next Zelda game I owned was A Link Between Worlds. Here's the backstory. On Christmas 2013, I asked for Super Mario 3D World, but Mom accidentally bought me New Super Mario Bros. U. She could tell she messed up by looking at the expression I made. So we returned it, but the store where we got it from was sold out of copies of Super Mario 3D World, so we went on their website and got Super Mario 3D World, and Mom was kind enough to buy me another game, since the store was having a buy one get one 40% off all video games. I really wanted GTA 5, but my parents said no. Because of this, I was like, I don't know, Zelda A Link Between Worlds? Now, please don't point your fairy bows at me for this, but I sold it. And it was still in its original shrink wrap. I just wasn't into Zelda at the time, and maybe Four Swords left a bad taste in my mouth, like dubious food. In retrospect, I should have kept it considering how it's considered one of the best 3DS games of all time. I eventually downloaded it on my 3DS before the eShop closed, and still have yet to play it. The next Zelda game I got was Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Now, if there's a mainline Zelda game I would never recommend, it would have to be this one. I'm not saying don't play it, I'm saying it would be the last Zelda game I would recommend. How did I get it? Well, Nintendo was giving out a free game from the old Club Nintendo program for those who had redeemed codes for titles they've already owned before a certain date. I was hoping to get Game & Wario, but I didn't redeem that many codes before time ran out. So I decided to get Zelda 2 for the Wii U Virtual Console. The next Zelda game I got, which was a spin-off, was Hyrule Warriors, which was right after I sold A Link Between Worlds. Now, I know what you all are thinking. Why did you sell your copy of Zelda A Link Between Worlds but got Hyrule Warriors? Everybody and their mother was playing Hyrule Warriors. In regards to the Warriors games, I'm honestly not a fan. Most, if not all of them are good, but they're really not my jar of Lon Lon milk. And for those of you wondering, no, I do not have Age of Calamity. Then I got Majora's Mask, both on the Wii Virtual Console, because it wasn't released on the Wii U Virtual Console yet, and the 3DS. Virtual Console Majora's Mask was free because my Club Nintendo rewards points were about to expire, and I got Majora's Mask 3D as an Easter present. I played both versions, and they too left a negative impression on me, probably because of the Groundhog Day-esque gameplay. A couple of months later, I got the original Zelda for the Wii U Virtual Console, also from Club Nintendo. If I recall, I got to the 6th dungeon before giving up. Shortly after getting the original Zelda, I got Ocarina of Time on the Wii U Virtual Console. Before playing Ocarina of Time, my impression about it being overrated stuck with me, but I decided to give it a hook shot. Initially, I stopped playing it after having trouble with the castle guards. It wasn't until I beat Breath of the Wild that I decided to revisit it, but I gave up after having trouble with the Wolfos at the beginning of the Forest Temple. The next Zelda game I got was Twilight Princess HD. In fact, I got it with the Wolf Link amiibo. I don't recall how far I got in it as of this video, but I recall not getting very far. I would have gotten further in it had I not had to go to California the following day I got it. Then I got Zelda Breath of the Wild. In fact, I got it on launch day with my Switch. Not only that, but it was the first Zelda game I beat. When it came to playing Breath of the Wild, I would have this habit where I would make substantial progress, then hit a firewall, make substantial progress, then hit a firewall, and this would go on and on until I beat it. What made Breath of the Wild stand out for me was how modern the game was compared to other Zelda games. Initially, I liked that game way more than any other Zelda game I played, but after replaying Ocarina of Time, my opinion still hasn't changed. Then I got Zelda Link's Awakening on Switch. It was the second Zelda game I beat. I followed various guides and tutorials on how to beat it, which made it a lot easier. I have to say, I really enjoyed it, especially the chibi aspect, and how it plays a lot like the classics. By the way, Nintendo, can we please have both the Oracle games remade in the same style? I wouldn't play another Zelda game for years until Tears of the Kingdom was about to be released, when I decided to replay Ocarina of Time. That time, I decided to start fresh and play it on Nintendo Switch Online, and this time, I beat it. Now that I have officially beaten Ocarina of Time, I can safely say that it's not the best game of all time. I definitely would consider it to be among my favorite games of all time, but wouldn't rank it as or among the greatest. There are so many other games in my opinion that are just as good, if not better. Even so, there are still a handful of people who consider Ocarina of Time to be the greatest. If you consider Ocarina of Time to be the greatest, that's great. If not, that's also great. It all comes down to our personal interests, and our interests make us unique. Now that's out of the way, time to go play Tears of the Kingdom.